everybody, welcome back to another video. Today is a massive book haul. Normally I try to be a little responsible with the amount of books I buy, and I will admit that I think I kind of went overboard this month. However, I went to a book sale. I went 2 different days. I went op shopping and I went to a bookstore. So this month I have a lot of books that I bought. I have a lot that I've also donated or taken off of my shelves. I don't know if you can see behind me, but I also got a new shelf. I think it might be out of camera, but I will show you in a minute. So I'm decluttering my shelves and also putting new stuff on there. Now, last month I did a cute little video where it's just like, oh, like I bought a couple of books and I read a few books. That is not the case this month. I think I calculated I bought like about 30 books this month. That's a lot. That is a lot. I read maybe 6 a month. So the fact that I bought 30 is basically me going, oh, I've just added another 5-6 months worth of reading just in this pile, which is kind of crazy to think about, and I'm trying not to. But we'll start with the books that I bought at a bookstore. These 2 books I got from Boundless Books here in Perth. It's a small independent bookstore in Leaderville. I got one nonfiction, which is Come As You Are. This is a book about women's health and bodily autonomy, and all about understanding the woman's body. I don't know how much detail I can give without like YouTube going, what the hell, we're not letting you talk about that. So anyway, do some research on this if you want to. The second book I got was The Last Gifts to the Universe. This is a very short but so cute. I mean, like, look at this. I am like holding myself back from reading this right now, I'm not gonna lie. It is a cute little book about this person and their cat and their adventures around the universe trying to find a planet for the last of humanity to move to, and then the adventures that they have along the way. It's quite short. I think it was 188 pages. I don't think I've ever heard the name Riley August before, but I'm very, very excited to read this and I cannot wait. The other 2 books I got from work at QVD. I got Ruthless Vows, which yes, I have already started reading, and hopefully by the time this is out, I will have finished it. I read Divine Rivals and I ate it up. I think I read it in like 3-4 days, which is pretty normal for me, but I ate it up and I loved it. And at the end of the book, I literally went, no, I need the next one. I need the next one. I need to read it right now. And I love when books do that. I very rarely have the urge to read the next book as soon as I finish the first one. So when it happens, you best believe that that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going on and buying and reading the next one. I rated Divine Rivals a 5-star, and so far, just based on the first half, yeah, it's probably gonna get a 5-star, this one. I'm obsessed. I think that Iris and Kit are so cute. I think they're so cute. The next one I got was The Demon Tide by Laurie Forrest. This is the 4th book in the Black Witch Chronicles. And listen, I won't lie, the 3rd book, The Shadow Wand, left me so unexcited. And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna buy the 4th one and I'm gonna try and read it, but there is a very high chance I'm going to DNF this book. Like a very high chance. I was very excited by the first one in the series, The Black Witch. Literally left me so excited. The second one, I was like, okay, why do we keep bringing up this one topic the whole book? And then the 3rd one, I literally was like, you know what, I love a good badass female main character. I hate when the female main character is like, oh my god, I'm so emotional and so untrained, and like, how am I gonna fight this war? Babe, get a grip. Anyway, so if that keeps happening in the 4th book, I am gonna DNF it. However, if one particular thing happens that I really want to happens, I might try and stick around. But this is 700 pages, and the first book was also 700 pages. I think the second one was maybe 6. The 3rd one I think was around the 500 page mark, and this one's back up to 700. So I don't know what Laurie needed to say those 700 pages in the last book, but I hope it's good. That was the 4 that I got from a bookstore. Next, we're moving on to everything I got either out op shopping or at a book sale that I went to. I'm gonna start with Rainbow Rowell. Now, my older brother has Carry On, and I really wanted to read it, but I was like, you know what? There's other books out there that I need to read as well from Rainbow Rowell. Like, I've heard so many great things, so I'm like, I really want to read them. So I found the other 3 whilst out and about. So now I have all 4, and I'm so excited. I have been told by my older brother to read Carry On and Wayward Sons first, and then read Fangirl, and I'm pretty sure Eleanor and Park is a standalone outside of those 3, so I'll probably read this one first and then get myself into the next ones. But I am quite excited to read these. I've heard amazing things about Rainbow Rowell's work, so very, 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 very excited. The next ones I got, you're gonna have to bear with me and no judgment, please. I got a bunch of Skullduggery Pleasant books. I have read the first 4 already as a kid, but then in the 4th book, I think that's when she got a boyfriend, and I was like, I don't want to read about that because I was so afraid it was going to turn into like romance based. However, now I'm an adult and I don't mind reading about romance because I'm not a child anymore, so I've bought as many as I could find out, and I'm gonna hope that I can keep finding them as I'm reading them at other op shops and book sales. And yeah, so I bought all of these. I'm very excited to get back into the series now that I'm an adult. And before you say anything, it's okay to read junior fiction as an adult. The next ones that I got, oh my god, that's gonna fall over. A sign. It's a sign, and I'm not listening. The next ones that I got were nonfiction. I also got a cooking book, however that is already out in my kitchen and I've already started making a recipe from it. We know that one was a good purchase. We love a good conditioned gluten-free cookbook that's got a variety of different things. I'm very excited about it, actually. So the other ones I got was the writing short films. I'm a writing student and I love learning about like intricate details of different writing forms, and unfortunately throughout university a lot of the different genres of writing, they're all squished into like 4-week chunks in semesters, and it's very disappointing and unfortunate. So I love going out and finding other books about writing and reading them. So when I saw this, I was over the moon because we did like film writing, but literally for 2 weeks. It wasn't great, and I'm very excited to keep learning about it. Then I got Ultra Processed People. This ties in pretty well with a different one I got, which is Slow Death by the Rubber Duck. In general, I'm very aware of like the harms that plastic consumption and like just the world and consumerism and all of that kind of stuff. I am hyper aware of it all, and it does terrify me to think about. However, reading about it makes me feel a little better and more educated. I can be environmentally friendly as one can get away with, whilst also having a book addiction, and being someone who's a part of capitalism. You know, I work in retail. I'm around it every single day. But yeah, so hence why I'm worried about it. The last one I got was She's on the Money. I have almost no financial awareness in my life, which is not a great thing. And a lot of people come into work to read this. I thought, you know what, it sounds great. I might give it a shot myself. So when I saw it out at the thrift sale, I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get it and I'm gonna give it a go. And hopefully it's got some really good advice on how I can be a bit more financially aware of my own situations. All right, and the last ones left are mostly like general fiction books, except for this one, which is a poetry collection. It's by Tina Burke. I have never heard of Tina Burke before. The image on the back is very unprofessional portrait core, and the setup in some of these poems is not great. Like the layout on the page is not amazing. It's also on white paper. I hate things that are on straight white paper, if anyone ever is curious. However, I do love a good poetry collection, and I love reading stuff that other people have like self-published, and I have a feeling this has been self-published because there's no mention of a publishing house in here. So I'm very, very, very excited to read it and just, yeah, see what Tina Burke has to add to poetry. The next one, I got this when I was out of an op shop, and it's by Steve Hawke, and the publishing house I work at, I read a manuscript that he submitted and I loved it, and I was so sad that we had to reject it. So when I saw this ad in an op shop, and I went, oh hell yeah, I'm gonna read other stuff by him because his manuscript seemed really good, so I'm excited to see what that one's about and just to read more of his stuff, I guess. Where the Crawdads Sing. I have seen this kind of everywhere, and I know that it's got a movie out now. An old friend of mine read it and actually quite enjoyed it, so I was like, you know what? We had kind of similar tastes in books, and also I just love reading stuff that's then been made into movies and then judging it based on that fact. So hence why I got it. Which leads us perfectly into the next book, Perks of Being a Wallflower. I haven't watched the movie, so when I saw it, I went, well, perfect opportunity to read it and then watch the movie and then again judge them purely based off of what the differences are or how similar they are. We then got Lessons in Chemistry. I have seen this kind of everywhere, and I've heard a lot of good and bad things about it, and to be honest, I just want to be that person who builds their own opinions. That's why when I saw it, I went, hell yeah. And it's in trade size, so if you look at the way the words are spaced out, beautiful. If there's any one thing you should know about me and my reading, is that if it's available in trade size, I'm gonna get it in trade size, even if it's more expensive, because it's just so much easier to read. Like, I could read this without my glasses. My eyes would still hurt, but they wouldn't hurt anywhere near as bad, and that, to me, is a blessing. We then got Of Literature and Lattes. This is a cute little romance story. That's basically it. I saw it, I read the blurb, and I went, that sounds really cute and fun. Yeah, I'm gonna get it. I have nothing else to say about it other than that. Then got When Things Are Alive, They Hum. This is a book about sisterhood, and I'm very excited to read it. Also, it's got butterflies on the front and on the back, and I love butterflies, so that pretty much had me convinced because I really liked the cover, and I read it and it seemed somewhat interesting, so I hope it is, and I look forward to reading it at some point. We then got Holly White and the Incredible Sex Machine. This is apparently a very smutty, steamy book, and it's very erotic, and I was like, you know what, I haven't read anything super erotic recently. Why not? One of us is lying. If you have been thrifting and you haven't seen this book, I'm afraid I don't know where you're thrifting. However, I am slightly intrigued, and I'm really trying to broaden my horizons in YA to not just read YA fantasy, which is why we've now got Rainbow Rowell's books as well. It says YA, like romance, and YA thriller / crime. I don't know if it's considered a crime or a thriller. One of them. Excited to try and broaden my horizons a little. The next two books, when I saw them, the day before I had watched a video and seen someone talking about them, and the fact that literally the next day I saw them out and about at a book sale, I was like, oh, I feel like it's fate, I have to get them. So we have When Women Were Dragons and A Lonely Girl is a Dangerous Thing. I saw Jack Edwards talk about this one, and my god, what's her name? I commented on the video too. I'll insert the name of the content creator here, but I watched both of them talk about them and then saw them both out the next day, so I felt like I had to get them. The universe put them there for me to see for a reason, so I got them. And the last one was The Unfortunate Misfortunes, which is by Jennifer Cruzy, Aline Dreyer, and Anne Stewart. I have two other Little Black Dress books, and I love them both, so when I saw this, I was like, hell yeah, I'll buy another one. I'll see if I like this one. So yeah, that's why I got this one, because I like Little Black Dress books so far. But that is every single book I have bought this month in April. I have a problem, I am aware. It ain't gonna change anytime soon. And if you've read any of these books that I got, please tell me what your opinions are of them and tell me about them, because I would love to hear your thoughts. I'll see you guys next time.